Biden will end all online sales of guns, ammo, parts, kits, accessories. Did anyone here know this until I just told you? It's on his website. Ban all online sales. I can't believe that this hasn't been. I can believe, but this is something that should be reported on far more. It's time to shoot with Joe Biden.
Fired 2 blasts outside the house.
You shoot him in the leg.
You shoot him in the leg.
AR-14.
I was surprised when I read this. And Half Asian Bill, you didn't know about this until I said, don't ask me the question.
I just stared at you.
I will tell you on air, and I will read directly from his website. Joe Biden's gun control policies are far more radical than people feared Barack Obama's would be.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand this. Did you find it there?
JoeBiden.com/gun safety.
Gun safety. Yeah, like shoot him in the leg.
Yeah.
and no one's pressed him on it. Think about this, too, the topics for the debates. We don't have the economy in there. We don't have gun control. And by the way, do you know there have still been shootings that have taken place across America? It's not like no one's been shot. Just look at the Chicago statistics. No news on it. No news on mass shootings at all as you go to election. Why? Because it's the single most losing issue for Democrats, particularly in the Rust Belt, in the Midwest, where people are avid hunters. In Michigan, right, my home state of Michigan, you did not need a permit when I lived there. You didn't need a permit at all to open carry, only to conceal carry. You go in, you purchase a firearm, you can open carry, and a big reason for that is because you have so many hunters. And if they have to track a deer across the freeway, you don't want some soccer mom going, I can't, I saw a gun, I can't even. Joe Biden will ban any and all online firearm, ammunition, or accessory sales. Meaning, under a Joe Biden administration, according to his own website, you can't buy a grip, a trigger spring, a holster, depending on how you define accessories. Let me read it right here. Biden's plan would, quote from his website, end the online sale of firearms and ammunition. Biden will enact legislation to prohibit all online sales of firearms, ammunition, kits, and gun parts. Wow. Did you know that?
I didn't. And when you said, I literally didn't believe you. And I was like, no, this is such a ridiculous proposition, particularly if you're trying to get these states that are currently the swing states.
Right. Particularly also, by the way, if you're trying to look at making something safer where you can regulate it, online sales, there's a record.
Exactly.
There's a record. There's no way to buy it out of the back of a trunk.
Right.
Again, people who sell their firearms on the main websites. Now, if you can go on the dark web and commit a crime, that's not a loophole. You're a criminal.
It's a crime.
I don't think that there's a blood/crip initiation loophole. You had to steal a Gran Torino and shoot an 85-year-old. That's not a loophole. You're just a felon. He wants to be able to charge adults for minors accessing guns. And I know what you're saying. It's like if an adult, and it's already a crime, if an adult gives a minor a firearm that they don't have the legal authority to possess, that's a crime.
Sure.
Okay. That's not what the law is. Let me again read from the website. Hold adults accountable for giving minors access to firearms. Biden supports legislation holding adults criminally and civilly liable for directly or negligently giving a minor access to a firearm, regardless of whether the minor actually gains possession of the firearm.
What?
So, like, if a gun's up on a shelf
in a house,
can you tell me how that reads? Yeah. That's how it reads to me. Like, if you don't have, in other words, you could be criminally and civilly liable if you have a nightstand gun safe. If you have a nightstand gun that isn't in a safe, even if the kid never accesses it, never uses it, doesn't know that it's there, because it says very clearly, holding adults criminally and civilly liable for directly or negligently giving a minor access to a firearm, whether the minor or not actually gains possession of the firearm. Can you explain that legalese? I'm a little.
So get this. Let's say your master bedroom's on the second floor of your house. Your nephew comes over. You're playing in the front yard. Your sister and nephew go in and go to the bathroom on the first floor. They're in the house. The gun is on a second floor. It may be not even locked, right? Maybe it's behind the bedstand or up on a shelf or something like that. You're single. You don't have kids. The kid's not even on the floor, not even in the same room, nowhere near the gun. That might possibly fall under it. And here's the point. Maybe after 4 years of litigation and 2 years of appeals, you'll win that case. But you're bankrupt. You've already lost it. And the reason is because Biden has created a law that allows people to sue you for something that is currently not even being asked for.
Here's another one. The hate crime loophole. Yeah. And this is something that is incredibly disturbing because people go, oh, you can commit hate crimes right now? Yeah. And that's a loophole? No. So we've gone through banning all online sales, banning having firearms and kids in a house, period, effectively, making it illegal. And now he says on his website he'll close the hate crime loophole by, quote, bring us up to cute Maddie, legislation prohibiting an individual who has been convicted of a misdemeanor hate crime or received an enhanced sentence for a misdemeanor because of hate or bias in its commission from purchasing or possessing a firearm. This is what's important. What's a misdemeanor hate crime? We need to define this, right? Because people are thinking you're going out there and you're shooting up a black church. No, that's actually a felony. And the primary issue with that is not so much that you hate people, it's that you tried to kill people.
Yes, that's true.
Already really bad.
What do you have to say to be charged with a misdemeanor hate crime? Just say naughty words. No, are you exaggerating? Nope, we have cases of this. We've talked about it before. Students at the University of Connecticut, remember they were playing a game where they yelled increasingly offensive words back and forth. We used to play this in high school. It was the penis game when I was in high school. Remember that? You say penis, and you'd
have to go loud.
Class. Apparently they were playing a game where it's like saying racial slurs. Now, irresponsible? Sure.
Yeah.
But they're 13. I know you think they're responsible enough to smoke a joint and change their sex, but I don't think that they're necessarily responsible to be held accountable because their synapses haven't formed. It doesn't mean they're racist. It means they play stupid games. Well, guess what? These kids were charged with a misdemeanor hate crime for playing a game. Then we also have people recently who've been charged with misdemeanor hate crimes simply when Black Lives Matter protesters attack their vehicle and they continue driving. So this comes down to your understanding of the Second Amendment and fundamental rights. Do you forego your rights because you said a bad word? Do you forfeit your rights? Now, I think you forfeit your rights when you rape somebody and murder somebody. Yeah. I think you forfeit certain rights because you've decided to infringe on other people's rights. But if you defend yourself, if you're driving down a street and someone throws himself on your car like the lady in Happy Gilmore, get me out of here! And you keep driving, should you lose your right to protect your wife and kids? Well, this is the policy from Joe Biden. A lot of people have talked about the ban on assault weapons, and we've done this before. We've talked about it, the ins and outs. It's a fake thing, right? The idea of assault weapons. There's a difference between an assault weapon and an assault rifle, which is something that has burst fire in the military. So assault weapon is a made-up term. Look, this is legal, this is illegal. It's just a pistol grip. That's all that changes it. It's what kind of aesthetics? It's a backdoor gun grab, and it was wildly unpopular. Now, Biden is very open about the fact that he would ban all undefined assault weapons. Here you go.
So to gun owners out there who say, well, a Biden administration means they're going to come for my guns.
Bingo. You're right if you have an assault weapon. Wow. The fact of the matter is they should be illegal, period.
There's him saying he's going to ban all assault weapons.
And he didn't equivocate.
He didn't equivocate.
Very clear. Yeah.
And he mentioned the buyback. He talks about the buyback program quite a bit, too. It says it talks about it on his website, a gun buyback. Now, here's what's so concerning. We've talked about Australia and the gun buyback. That was a mandatory buyback. And considering how specific Joe Biden is on banning all firearm sales and ammunitions online and making you criminally liable and civilly liable, even if there is actually no child who reaches a firearm in your house whatsoever. The vagueness here is concerning because it just mentions buyback. Well, all examples we have of buybacks have by and large been mandatory. So here is, well, would it be mandatory? I don't know because he doesn't specify, but he did say that his gun czar was going to be Francis O'Rourke, who you may know him as Beto.
How are you going to take away weapons from people who do not want to give them up and you don't know where they are?
If someone does not turn in an AR-15 or an AK-47, one of these weapons of war, or brings it out in public and brandishes it in an attempt to intimidate, as we saw when we were at Kent State recently, then that weapon will be taken from them. If they persist, there will be other consequences from
he's not
law
running
enforcement.
for president, so
I'm going to guarantee you this is not last year's scene of this guy. You're going to take care of the gun problem with me. You're going to be the one that leads this effort.
Son of a bitch!
There it is. Yeah.
So you have Beto saying it's going to be a mandatory buyback between kickflips, and then Joe Biden saying he's going to be my gun czar, and his website says there's going to be a buyback. So banning all online sales whatsoever of firearms, ammunition, accessories, making you criminally civilly liable for having a firearm in the house if a child happens to be present at any point, even if they don't actually gain possession of the firearm. Assault weapons ban, which isn't defined, and then a buyback, which we don't know whether it's mandatory, but he will appoint Beto O'Rourke as gun czar, who said that he will kick down your door and take away your AR-15. Said so adamantly. Hell yes. So I wonder why, where per capita we have some of the most gun owners in the country, like Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, the media has not questioned Joseph Biden at all about his own firearm policies on his own website. You tell me why you think that is. This has been Shooting the Shh with Biden.
Watch Good Morning Mug Club live every Monday through Thursday at 10:15 Eastern.